On Friday, teams can start trading players that were signed this past offseason. This is important. A lot of those deals were made with future deals in mind. Biggest fish on the trade market as of right now, likely DeAndre Jordan. I will use this precious one-on-one time with Woj to break down the trade market. Take your pens out. You're going to want to take notes. Who are the biggest buyers right now?
Milwaukee has been really aggressive. They made the deal for Eric Bledsoe. Jabari Parker, his future in Milwaukee, coming off, 2 major knee surgeries, could be a restricted free agent. Do they want to invest in him there? Does he fit there? And that's a player that there's teams out there who, this was a top 2 pick in the draft. And so, he's going to be a part of those conversations, but the Bucks want to get better. And Cleveland in the East. I think you're seeing teams in the East who think, maybe we have a chance here to either get to the conference final, and then Cleveland, who's trying to, obviously get past Boston, but beat Golden State. That Brooklyn pick, which was untouchable a couple months ago when they did the Isaiah trade with Boston, when you thought Brooklyn would have one of the 2 or 3 or 4 worst records in the league, they've exceeded expectations. The pick isn't projected right now to be as high. Will the Cavs put that pick in play? They haven't yet, but it would ultimately depend on, 1, who they could get, and 2, where do they stand with LeBron James going to his free agency? And
that's what's so interesting to me, because they will never get an answer from LeBron ahead of time about whether he's going to resign, because he always says he waits until the summer to decide. But they can have an influence in that decision by making their team better and giving them more contention if you got to a conference finals or finals, because that is ultimately what would make him decide to stay. So it's a fascinating chicken and egg. I do want to get to the sellers, though. Who are the biggest sellers right now on the market?
It starts with the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan, and another player who's going to have value, Lou Williams, who, a contender. There's the guy who can really score off the bench.
Sure.
But what is the market going to be for DeAndre Jordan? They've talked to teams. He can opt out of his contract. He plans to. Teams who trade for him want to know that they can re-sign him. And I think lots of teams who need rim protection. Milwaukee's a team with interest in Jordan. What are the Clippers going to get back? Can they get a lottery pick and a good young player? Can they get an expiring deal? I think they don't have many assets in LA. They've got to get a great return for him. I think there's a lot of pressure on the organization, to maximize any deal they do for Jordan.